this is an opportunity to get back in. The reason I jumped in, if these guys who are foreclosure guys are going to start flipping again, double Fs, as Kenny says, I mean, do you know how stupid you got to be? Because I don't think the prices will come up for a while. That's good because it's going to force more people out to sell. It's going to keep the price suppressed. It is a time to go in, but only if you're going to go for cash flow. Does that make sense to you guys here? There will be appreciation again. There will be another spike, You know, a $300,000 house today is $1 million. So I'm a millionaire, but you're still an idiot. You got $1 million house, but you got no cash flow. That doesn't make sense. But to losers, it makes sense. Or to cowards, well, is this the right time or the right? And they wait till the last minute. I hope it gets worse, don't you?
Well, it's gonna, and I'll tell you another reason why. During this run, this real estate run, as Robert said, everybody used their home as an ATM, because you were probably like me. I probably got 1 or 2 a week saying, hey, you've got equity in your home, we'll give you, a little money for it. And, a lot of people took advantage of that campaign. A lot of that was subprime too. But what's happened is that was cash that was used during that run for plasma TVs and furniture and, all those things. Okay. That, and there's a whole industry, all the retailers, all those people are going to get annihilated in the next 5 years because people don't have disposable cash now because they use their homes. So, your buddy Roberto, who's living or working at a local resort here, people are traveling less. They can't afford the $300 and $400 a night stuff. All those industries are going to suffer. All of them.
It's not only that, it's even the commercial real estate. We're going up the freeway. How many of these big commercial buildings are now empty? It's Resolution Trust Corporation time again.
I'll tell you something funny.
There's going to be, in commercial, there's going to be a collapse. And and all these guys who became mortgage brokers and real estate brokers, I mean, talk about losers. They jumped in to make money, but never to get smart. I have so many friends who became mortgage brokers. I'm going, what the hell do you know about a mortgage? I don't know, got a good commission though. And I said, why are you forming a mortgage company today? Well, the market's good. And I said, that's the worst time to start a mortgage company. The time you want to start a mortgage company is today, not when it was high. Does that make sense, you guys here? That's stupidity when your euphoria affects your thinking. Does that make sense, guys?
Well, and I was just going to point out, I'm looking for an office building right now, personally, for my companies. And so one of the things I haven't told you, I'm looking, actually, one of the targets for me are home builders and mortgage companies, people that own those buildings. Because they don't have the cash flow to support the buildings, and they're walking away from the buildings that they own, and some of them are starting to hit the market right now here in Phoenix. So I'm going to wait for maybe another year, but just keep my eye open on something, and I'll snap something up, unfortunately, that somebody can't pay for. And so as things are crashing around you, there are opportunities everywhere, and I think it's an education issue.
I have a couple of properties that I wish I hadn't bought because I bought them for capital gains. I knew I shouldn't have done it at the time, but exactly as Kenny says, it sounds tempting at the time. So I violated my own formula. But I have the cash flow to support the mistake. And when you don't have that money to do that, you can't afford to be a flipper. I have the cash flow to afford to take a capital gains play. I can write a check and pay for my mistakes, absolve my sins, But we also started when times were really bad, and that's really my issue. And as Kenny says, this is an educational process, right?
Yeah, and I think what will happen is people sometimes need to fail before they come to Jesus, if you will. And I think that that's what's happening now. There'll be the people that say, yep, it was my issue. And those are the people that will correct and have a good run, hopefully till retirement. And then there'll be the people that blame it on the real estate market.
What they'll say is real estate's a bad investment.
Right.
And I say, not real estate. Or they'll lose money in stocks, and they say stock is a bad investment. Or they'll lose money in gold, and they'll lose money in silver, and they'll say it's gold or silver that's the bad, or oil. It has nothing to do with the asset, whether it's gold, oil, silver. If you're stupid, you're going to lose money. This is the message of the Rich Dad Company. I never said buy a house and flip it. Anybody ever see that in Rich Dad, Poor Dad? But a lot of people said, well, you said to go flip a house. I said, no, I said flip this. You know, I mean, come on, you guys. You know, well, I bought a big house. I made a lot of equity. I said, I never said that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was about your passive income had to be higher than your expenses. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, and the difference between the cash flow strategy and the capital gain strategy is that the cash flow strategy does not require an exit. That's the difference. The capital gain strategy requires an exit. So you're subjecting yourself to the whims of the marketplace, whereas the cash flow strategy does not require an exit.
But we have an exit.
Correct.
We get our money back. Our exit strategy is if I put $1 in, I want my dollar back in 5 years, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. But it's through management. It's a big difference. See, we buy properties that are undervalued because of poor management. And then we increase.
When he raises the rents, gets a higher valuation of the property, he goes back in, borrows the money. So that's why Ken and I have made about $2 or $3 million this year, just borrowing our money out, so that $3 million I got from you is tax-free, right?
That's correct, because it's a refinance.
It's borrowed money. Now, who pays for the $2 or $3 million?
My tenants.
So that's why we don't flip, because we simply improve the value. As he says, the management is a financing play, it's a management play, and it's a partnership play. So you have to have partners who understand the game, the same sophistication level. You have to have the good structured financing, and you have to have good management. And Kenny has the management skills. So we increase the rents, and get rid of the bad cockroach tenants, the bad ratty tenants, improve the rents. The rents are then, by the cash flow, improve the valuation, and then we borrow out the money. So we buy a place for $11 million, we refinance at 17, we all get our money back, and we get our cash flow per month, and we get the millions of dollars back. So it's an infinite return on investment. We have several deals. We have no money in the deal. Right?
We have many deals where we have no investment at all. We have lots of value because we have millions of dollars in each project, but we don't have investment in it.
And you started with, what was your first investment?
A 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo.
How long ago?
12 years ago. But the reason that I understood the bigger picture was through the property management piece. And that was one of most of you who read Rich Dad, Poor Dad probably skipped right over this part, but I didn't. Robert talks in there specifically about why property managers are one of the most important people on your team. Now, most people would skip right over that, but somebody who's in the business, I recognized the value of that, and I believed it. And actually, before we even met, I had read that, and I knew that he knew what he was talking about, because what I was doing for a living was taking people's real estate and creating value through property management, through better management. They were buying real estate, and then I was creating the value through property management. And there's 3 ways to lose real estate or properties when you're in the property management business. One is, of course, if you don't increase the value of the property, you get fired. 2 is if it stays the same, you get fired. 3, if you increase it, they sell it and you get fired. So the truth is I was always getting fired for multiple reasons, mostly because people would sell their properties and to somebody else, and then we'd lose the management. But the point is, that's how the people that I was dealing with was making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it is truly in the management, and that's the difference in the cash flow play versus the capital gain play.